To announce that the Justice Department has secured felony guilty pleas from the world's largest cryptocurrency exchange, Binance.
Actually, it's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Largest virtual.
Binance.
Binance. And let me be clear. It's Binance.
Binance.
Binance. Council has discussed crypto regulations and legislations at length, and we have come to the conclusion that instead of regulating, we are going to ape a fat bag each into laptop and pump it to over $1,300,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 market cap. Let's fucking go, crackheads.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Crypto Morning Coffee. I got my coffee locked and loaded, ready to go, because we have to talk about some amazing stuff because Bitcoin tries to break out of this almost 8-month long bull flag, of this mega bull flag. And if it does, very good times are ahead for us as Bitcoin holders, altcoin holders, VEVE holders. Very, very good times ahead if it happens now. If it doesn't happen now, it will happen in a couple of days or weeks to the US elections, very, very likely. But let's look at it together. And also, let's look at how the altcoin market is reacting to it in a positive way. And let's look a little bit at Ecomi and VEVE as well. This is a very good time to be alive, I think. So make sure to stay all the way through. Good morning to each and every one of you. I see the excitement is high, and I have shifted the rare hodlers a little bit around because I'm running out of space. So I moved Justin one level up so that I could fit Chris in. So welcome, Chris. Now this is your time. Unfortunately, yesterday I had forgotten to put you on the screen, but I see you are excited. So Chris is here, says hello, super stoked for tonight, this morning show, LFG. And Pro Legendary is also here. Sup boys, we pumping. Let the FOMO begin. Yeah, exactly. But let's see if Bitcoin is shitting the bed once again. We will see that in a second in the charts. Also, Walrus King is here. Yo, PH, what's going on? And Mike Hunt says, okay, I see what you did there. Yo, PH is wet and stinky. Is that together? So did you team up for that one, or how is it? Anyways, Trucking Hank also here. Good morning to you. So may I ask you to smash up the like button, please, here for this live stream. Also, if you already say that I don't know, maybe it also says Mike Hunt is wet and stinky. I don't know, but either way, smash up the like button. I mean, it's great with coffee in the system. We can now jump in. So subscribe if you haven't yet, notifications on as always, and let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, 15 people here, by the way. So the other 5 can also smash the like button right now. So with Bitcoin, we have a situation here where sneaky, sneaky, where we have broken out a little bit here. This doesn't mean anything until the confirmation, because you always know that when we break out, we want the confirmation and and that's where we really get excited, right? Not on all this, oh my god, breakout, oh no, breakout, oh no, right? Like here, or breakout, oh. So this all happened without confirmation, and quite frankly, in every situation, it really happens without the confirmation continuation, right? So here we see, we retested, we wanted to go, and boom, we break down. So we really have to wait a little bit, give it a little bit of time to see if we have the continuation and then to the upside. So this was a really sophisticated fake out. You could even argue it's not a fake out, but in the end it is, right, if you come all the way back down. So we do want to see this candle to close above, so that we have retested here successfully, and we want to break then afterwards above this overhead resistance, right? Because at the moment it's slightly upward, so this is a good sign, but overall we still have to see if this confirmation really comes, and if not, if we are so this time here where you can bounce between all of this and this downward coming line, it's over, right? So because if we come back under this, we will be squeezed here, and then those two resistances become one. And then also the elections are coming in here, right? So it would make sense to start a pre-run here to 70k or something like that. Interesting would be on a broader scheme to just take out these things, and then you have a confirmed uptrend right out of this. This would be nice. Thank you, super happy to be a part of. I see that people like these stickers here, though. Yeah, that is great. That is great. It was always my dream to have these stickers here on the on the chat. Anyways, yeah. So this is all looking good. And once again, I mean, also if you look at this on the weekly, this is a little bit more. Let's say it would give us more confirmation if we could have the weekly close way above here, right? So where we way above, so like a real close, and then next candle open and close above, and then you have your breakout. Because you see that on a higher time frame, all fake outs become only wicks, right? On higher time frames, we see that no candle body was able to close outside of this bull flag upside resistance, right? Nor was it able to close below. So on the weekly, a confirmation would get real validity, right? So let's say even if we close just here, if the next candle looks like something like this, maybe, okay, so it's somehow, the magnetizing was on. I don't know why. So something like this, right? So do you have this candle body? It's difficult to manage these things here. Okay, so this jumps in the weekly, but yeah, I'm trying. You get the idea, right? So you want to have a candle body that sits outside. Let's make it big, right? Something like this, right? Big fat green candle hammer, stick to the downside. I don't know, who cares, right? But you want to have the full body of the candle outside of this bull flag. That's what we're looking for on the weekly, right? But the week still has 5 days. Or the other side, that definitely what would be good would be like you have this candle go like here, right, to 70k and close up here. That would also be pretty much what we were looking for, right? But anyways, yeah. Pro Legendary says we need Trump and Kamala stickers. I don't know. So the last 2 times I showed anything of Trump, I got demonetized. So this is unfortunately how this game works in the free speech nation. But unfortunately you can't even. I showed a 20-second video. The one time was when Trump said. Here he is going like you don't sell your Bitcoin on the Bitcoin conference. Then I had a monetization marker for like all this, like some advertisers, they wouldn't like it, and so this cannot be advertised, blah blah. And the other one was, what was the other one? The other one was even like something super funny, like memeable. I don't know. Anyways, so there are so many funny videos that I could show if I wanted, and but on the other hand, like yeah, on YouTube Nation doesn't really happen, right? But I might try. Happy Canadian Thanksgiving. Oh, nice. Okay, so it's turkey time on in Canada, or so why is that on a different day than US? Anyways, happy Thanksgiving to all Canadians then. Very very cool, very cool. We have in Germany, we have something that is called basically, if I would translate it, it would be giving thanks for the harvest, right? So it's a celebration of giving thanks for the harvest, but it's not like a big thing as in Canada and the US. So it's more like, if you go, for example, if you go to a church, then everything's full of wheat and pumpkins and all legumes and stuff like that. So the farmers, they bring a little part of the harvest to the church, right? And that's the only thing that I would know in that area that is similar, right? Chris Klein says, yes, US is always the third Thursday in November. Okay, third Thursday in November. Wow, that's late. That's really late. Interesting. Because that one that I mentioned that is here, that was like 2 or 3, I don't know, 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, something like that. Here, oh, Chris says his Oma told me about that. My dad is from Frankfurt. Okay, great. Yeah, so that is interesting, right? I also did. This is all a little bit off topic, but I hope you still find it interesting. So I did some research on ancestors. Like many years I did that because I think it's super interesting to, if you research your ancestors and how they lived, you automatically have to research the history around that person and the small village, whatever you're researching. And then this is another way of discovering history from the little man's perspective. Because usually when we learn about history in school or wherever in documentaries, it's always like, oh, Otto von Bismarck, this and that, right? Like the Kaiser, I don't know, Nero in Rome. Only the big people's stuff. I don't know, my cam is lagging a little bit. So I researched, and then I was like, okay, but I have to find siblings at this generation. So it was really difficult, and I saw that like at some point many went to the US, also from my ancestors, like sisters, brothers, uncles, and so on. They just went to Hamburg, took a ship, and went to the US. So it's super interesting to see that there are some families got like split up, people searching for a new home and so on went to the US. Yeah, so I might have like super distant relatives from where great grandfather siblings went to the US. I don't know. But yeah, that's the story. That's the story of the US and of Europe, somehow tied together, and some traditions that people brought with them became more important in the US than they were actually here, and others maybe less important, right? So it's interesting. And then they develop maybe new things and traditions around it. I see that also in Brazil. So Brazil, same story, right? So that is, yeah, that's all cool. But here we are, sitting nice and tight under this overhead resistance, and let's quickly recap the targets of this all. Let's recap the target. Yeah, where is it? We need another price label here for this one, right? Only that. Let me quickly move it to here. So if we were to break out here, where we are, which is, maybe it's today, maybe it's somewhere else, the price target of this breakout, verify, would be this. That was a little bit too much. Okay, now it's perfect. for the price target would be 80k, right? So very likely it's going to like, this is the price target, 80k 800, something like that, but very likely it's going to react just under 80k, as we always know, right? Usually these breakouts, they have psychological barrier at the next big level, which would be 80k. So this is why I'm going to conservatively put this just a couple of bucks under 80k, even though the breakout shows more. Why? Because of that, right? Because of that level. And yeah, for us it only matters that we break out, because we know that there is more. Like I showed you in yesterday's stream, the 100k mark here, that is very likely going to be achieved, and then the 120k, which is the big breakout of the cup and handle. Where is the cup and handle? There it is. Just takes some time to load, right? Which is this breakout target here. Also here we might put the price label on top of it, just so that no one can say we didn't talk about it. There you go. Oh, that's a yeah, it's like 500 bucks under it, but you know what I mean, right? So this would be the breakout, and as we can see, we're trying really hard to get this done, right? And it's also time. Look at the RSI, for example. Like we came back all this way to 45, and now we're trying to come back, and maybe we spend a little bit more time there. Also, this is a good time with this level to look at the monthly chart once again and reassess some of our most important indicators, and then also we might look 1 second at our favorite haters' predictions, to see how those are playing out at the moment. That was okay. So somehow I already had the indicators, they were just not showing. Okay, there you go. So the RSI is cool enough at 64 now to really pump, right? And you remember, guys, I mean, I didn't even brag about it anymore, but if we go quickly back on the weekly for the RSI, you remember that we called the pump starting on this breakout, right? On this breakout of the RSI. And we just so happened to, I think, confirm even this moving average of the RSI broke bullishly and retested. So I think we're good to go now, to be honest, from an RSI perspective, right? Then we have this here happening. Let's pull this also up. This is very close to happening. If we stay bullish here, it's probably going to happen. This is on the weekly still, right? We're still on the weekly. The weekly RSI is about to break bullishly, and whenever that happens, last time this happened, we can look it up. The bullish break of the RSI was coincided with an almost 100% pump, right? So this entire flag here of the Bitcoin price action, you can verify for yourself. The RSI, the MACD, I said RSI, but I meant MACD. The MACD break led to a 164% pump. Last time it broke bullishly on the weekly after a period of bearish action. Okay, so we are almost there. It's almost breaking, right? There you go. So this one, once this breaks, I hope I remember, because so many indicators and so on, is also close to when this is going to happen, the TSI, which I think is even more important. You can see the TSI on the weekly also had the same cross here as the MACD. Okay, so these indicators, they are all about to flip bullish. RSI flipped already bullish, right? The RSI tells us a bullish story. Now let's look at the monthly and see how it's looking here. Here, we see that this price level would already create a bounce right here in this TSI. And for me, really, that's the main thing that matters, right? So this indicator has never failed to call until now to call bull and bear markets, right? It didn't do it on the day, but it never failed us. Yeah? So now, obviously, what you don't want to see is an early cross, because that would mean, for me, it's the end of the bull market. But we see that it just bounced, and they are might be diverging over the next couple of months if we and when we get our breakout. I don't even think it's an if, or right? It's only a when. So I see that you are already like talking about this this whole thing. Energy says morning from Bodensee, so happy times there. Are you on holidays or what's going on? For those who don't know, that's a beautiful lake in the south of Germany at the borders with the attaching countries to the south. So that is beautiful area. Tucson says, I hate Trump. Well, everyone is like free to have their opinion. That's at least how it should be, right? Mike Hunt on the other side says Trump for the win, and Pro Legendary says Trump is the real G. So we will see how it plays out. Now, so the bull market is very, very fine in my opinion here. It just took a while to consolidate and to pump here, and I think we might be able to go higher now, finally, right? Here's our monthly candle also trying to peak up the head. Still 16 days left, so we can't say for sure, but if we would form a hammer like this, holy moly, on the monthly, that would be really good. Also, let's not forget that when we were here at this candle in August and September, that we have some people like the health wealth guru thing saying, let's just recap, 2nd of September, price is worse than 2022 bear market. 2nd of September, also wait until you see the streets later this week. 18th of September, the Fed just put the final nail in the coffin of the bear. So I would say this might come true. This prediction might come true if we reinterpret it a little bit. Also, this guy came back, was it 2 days ago when Bitcoin had a sudden flash dump on CPI, year-over-year CPI or so, like posted a champagne bottle in the comment, and then Bitcoin pumped back right away, and suddenly the comment was gone. So please, guys, if you already make such bold predictions, then please leave them up so we can go and review them, right? But this is why we have these things here marked in, just to remind us when we are pumping out here that the bears they were really cocky at the time, right? They were really cocky at the time, especially when we wicked down to 49,000. Oh my God, the bears were all back. Like, oh my God, this is the bubble pop of 1929 Black Friday hyperinflation crisis. I'm not saying that this is not happening somewhere down the road in the future because money printing gets too extensive, but it's definitely not happening right now. There we go. Da Closer, what's going on? Good evening, how's Sui looking? We will see in a second, but let's first of all check out some news. Good day from Sydney. Screaming Weasel says love Trump. Well. We will see what's happening. I think that Trump is a pretty likable guy. I don't know. I think that we should not get dragged into this whole game of like, I hate this and the other one hates this. Like, there's a super hard divide. I mean, I would be like, I don't like when people interfere in my free speech, in my freedom of possessing things. If they want to tax me into oblivion, I don't like that. So then I go and do like vote the opposite or whatever, right? So I think everyone should be, and if there's someone be like, oh yes, if I make gains, I want to be taxed 25, 30, 40, 50%. that's fine. I mean, then vote for that, and but then also live with it, right? So that's all. That's always like I'm super fine with all the free speech and so on. If someone is like, oh, I think we should. What's a good thing? I think we should disable all nuclear power plants in Germany and also all the coal production and I don't know what right away. And then there's some blackouts and your energy bill is like 3 times what it was before. Then that's like everyone's. I mean, everyone has to live with it in the end. But that's how people agree on things, right? But then if then afterwards almost 100% of the populace is screaming about the high energy prices, then I really don't understand how 40 or 50% came together for certain parties, right? So that's always a interesting thing. Anyways. Reassessing and really saying, okay, I voted for this, now I have to deal with it. Okay, fine, right? If that's the case. Say no to... I don't know, it depends, right? Anyways, Asia semiconductor stocks rise after shares of AI chip darling Nvidia hit a record high. Crazy, right? Nvidia closes a record as AI chip makers make cap tops 3.4 trillion. The market cap, sorry, tops 3.4 trillion. So once again, this is the reason. So this whole political discussion and so on. The reason why I love financial news so much is because you can't really. Financial news have automatism against bullshit, right? Whereas every other news outlet, you can bullshit around the real reasons for things happening. In financials, you can't, because markets and financials, at some point, they don't lie. You can't say, oh yeah, this is just, in financial markets, also financial community and so on, you can't lie your way around why things are happening the way they're happening, right? So if politics overregulate and the economy does bad, it shows, right? It shows in financial. This is a big phenomenon in Europe. Maybe we do another session or another stream about it, but I really think like you overregulate, you make it so hard for people to really be entrepreneurs. And then you tax everyone else into oblivion and so on. And then you're like, oh, why is the economy doing bad? We created 150 rules to regulate it. We are bringing it forward, right? I mean, I can only talk for Germany and parts of Europe in that sense. But I feel like that, that it's a phenomenon of certain political camps and parties to try to regulate everything, and freedom is a threat to the ultimate plan. And then there's the other side, it's like give more freedom, it gives more money, right? And I would count myself more in that camp, right? Harris is beating Trump badly. We will see. It's going to be interesting. But I think that what's super interesting is Trump is leading on Polymarket. So that you have two different things on that. That could be the reason. One is that everyone in crypto is using Polymarket and everyone in crypto likes Trump more. But on the other side also, that's a bet where you put real money behind your bet. So you would bet on the person winning to make more money, right? So people really bet what they believe is going to happen. So Trump's leading at the moment on Polymarket. Goldman Sachs to report third quarter earning also might be having some important thing. Japan's Nikkei hit 3 months high, so also Chinese market influences there. Chinese market, financial big bazooka, we called that this would happen, you remember? China considers issuing up to 6 trillion yuan of bonds to fund aggressive. This would be $1 trillion US dollars. Roundabout, right? Tucson, I'll have what you're smoking, bro, says Stu. Hey, Stu, what's going on? How's gold doing? How's the gold rally? Stu is our gold mega bull champion. But China was like, China pulled out the financial slingshot, right? In the beginning, like they were slingshotting on the economy, and they hit it and it dumped. And they were like, okay, give me an caliber, I don't know what pistol, right? Let's try this. And they injected like 250 billion, and the economic data did a downswing, like didn't like it. Now they're like, give me bazooka, give me a bazooka with a real like something real in it. Give me some real cannon, right? 6 trillion yuan. Let's blast this in, see what happens, right? So China going for really aggressive. And if this doesn't happen, they're like, okay, give me financial battle tank or something like that. Gold going great, 1,850 now, 2,600. Yeah, gold is going like an altcoin. But gold will also benefit from this, right? So these trillions, they will hit everything, right? So here's Blackrock. And BlackRock's Larry Fink, he is bullish on Bitcoin. BlackRock's Fink on what's really driving Bitcoin, I truly don't believe it's a function of regulation. Hey, this sounds like me just 5 minutes ago, right? No, it's not. It's not a function of regulation. I tell you, it's a function of global liquidity. So Larry Fink says, and this is important, Larry Fink says Bitcoin will become as huge as the US housing market. Now, let's hope that the US housing market doesn't collapse in the meantime, because then Bitcoin has it easier to reach that. But at the moment, the US housing market is at about 50 trillion, and Bitcoin is at 1.2 trillion, right? Somewhere there and thereabouts. So that would give us about a 50x. If that would happen, right? Does that mean people sell their house to buy Bitcoin, or does that only mean that the US will offset the 35 trillion US dollars slowly but surely by printing money and making more debt on the other side, thereby infusing 35 trillion into the economy and kicking the can further down the road? That could be it, right? And we're really looking at it's going to be so interesting how the US will move forward with this 35 trillion debt. That's 36 in a second, because like we have never seen these numbers, and most of the dollars ever created have been created in the last 4 years. So it's going to be insane, right? And all the other central banks and so on, they will lead in the same way. Also in Germany, here's some news from Germany. German publicly listed asset manager Sammar is to increase its Bitcoin holdings with proceeds from a 30 million to a 32.8 million bond. So a $2.8 million increase, citing the CEO here, which is Patrick Lorry. It'd be a dream to stack as much as Michael Saylor. So that's exactly what Michael Saylor was talking about. Like, they were the first. They showed how it went, and then other people followed the example. And when everyone follows the example, at some point it becomes an economic factor, and also a decisive factor for people to invest in, right? So once this happens, like people investing in companies that have Bitcoin more than others, then game theory plays out. Other companies have to do the same, because otherwise they will fall behind. At some point, I don't know if it will be now or in the bull run or in 4 years, but at some point people will be, if I buy that stock, I don't know, that company doesn't hold Bitcoin. It feels insecure because this company doesn't hold Bitcoin, right? So it's really playing out here, and there are so many companies that will have to play catch up. And once they do, and once you see, like, you holding Bitcoin right now means these companies, they will level this up so hard, and if something happens, like it becomes the size of gold, it will be 10x higher, it will be 15x higher probably, with the current gold market cap of sitting at about 18 trillion, and Bitcoin only at 1.2. So that means if you know any other investment that can do a 15x in the next 4 to 8 years, probably you would buy that, right? Anyways, but now Bitcoin is very likely to do that anyways. So there's no reason to buy anything else than Bitcoin, right? That's the function, that's the bet, that's the game plan, right? So yeah, exactly. So I think we are here. Also, Bitcoin now, for the first time in a long time, has more buy walls. Like the buy walls are strong enough to neutralize the sell walls at the moment, right, on exchanges. You see this on the very end. Strong buy walls and sell walls in comparison across all exchanges from 23 to now. So we see that at this point the buy walls were strong, but once Bitcoin started moving, everyone took profit, sell wall, whatever. Like, I don't know if paper hands still got many people sold at a loss down here. I don't know why, but maybe people that got wrecked in the other run or so. Also miners that had to fund their operations. We remember that here at this point where it turned around was the halving, right? So miners had to drop a lot of Bitcoin to fund their operations at that point in time, because suddenly Bitcoin was the cost to mine was 60k and the price was only at 30k. So they had to basically they would have to sell 2 Bitcoin to mine 1, which is stupid. So they were shutting down operation, but also investing in more, because now you have to have more hash power to drive this. And then looking at consolidation times, it's interesting. So between here we see in the early days, it didn't take really long until new liquidity and so on drove the Bitcoin price higher, also because of the lack of supply. But now here in $100 to $1,000, we had a consolidation in that time range, in that time frame of in the price range, of 1,356 days. And then here between $1,000 and $10,000 in that range, we spent 1,115 days. And now this is the longest that we have ever spent in a range, but also this range, I mean, look at how big it is, 10,000 to 100,000. We're in this range since 1,705 days. The question is, when will we break this range, right? When will we go into the range of 100k to 1 million, right? That is the real start of things. Now, this is what you found on the thumbnail, and I think it's the only thing that matters in the end, right? So global M2 money supply is sitting at about 107 trillion according to this research, right? So this is from Bloomberg. So they probably have some instruments to measure global liquidity, right? So my global liquidity, or the global liquidity function that I was able to find, shows 90.4 trillion. I have no idea that I'm missing 17 trillion, right? This is crazy. But I mean, the overall trend becomes clear. But so what is interesting is if you have Bitcoin here and you overlay the Bitcoin chart and you say, okay, Bitcoin is lagging by about 8 weeks, the global liquidity, which is white, and Bitcoin orange. So it's the GLMO sub G index. Maybe I can find this thing on the charts or somewhere, right? But you see that this has already gone ballistic, right? And it has been flagging along in the same way as Bitcoin did all the time, right? But now it seems that Bitcoin is really falling, or has been lagging behind. So now we have this upswing here already, which is not in here, of about 2,000 more. So this might be the split. But according to this also, in the next 1 or 2 weeks, it should be go time. And this is probably our move to at least 80K, right? Here, if we were going with it. I mean, you see that here, for example, it also had moved, and the move here is also, if you see this a bigger time frame, it's also a couple of weeks behind, right? And then this flagging along is more in parallel. But now there's a move again, and it seems that we are behind. So maybe, yeah, we have maybe crossed this dip here, and we're moving. So I think this is the only thing that matters. In the end, of course, it matters if Trump or Kamala wins in the short to mid-term, right? It matters to sentiment. It matters to how violent the moves will be. But long term, it doesn't matter. Long term, it doesn't matter, because neither Trump nor Kamala nor whoever else is coming can prevent the inevitable, that these $35 trillion US debt need to be printed away, and global liquidity has to increase to offset the debt for all the governments in the world. This is something that for Bitcoin's price and so on, it doesn't matter anymore. So long term, it really doesn't matter anymore to Bitcoin who is coming into government. It only matters from another perspective, and this is really where the crucial thing happens. Whether Bitcoin is going to be fully adopted by governments and legislation and so on now, or in 4 years, or in 8 years, right? This is what matters. So in terms of usability and freedom of use and so on, obviously you always have to be more fearful with one certain side, right? Which is now represented by Kamala, right? In the US, because that's just like, let's forbid everything, and we don't want you to use this, and here's your CBDCs, which you have to spend your money within 6 days or 6 weeks or 6 months, I don't know, because it has a expiration date and stuff like that, right? So all these dreams of expiring money. Let's see, Pro Legendary says just wait until the party list from Diddy is released. She's in one of them. I don't know about this one. So I heard about this whole scandal, but I really didn't dig into it to see who is on lists, who with whom, and so on. So I really have to do some catch up there, in the sense that I have to watch all the videos and material on this to be able to comment on this. But I know that this seems to be a very big deal. I think it's a pretty big deal, yeah. Anyways, DXY is still on the rise, and this is super interesting because the DXY is rising and Bitcoin is as well. Usually they are inversely correlated, right? But there's a cool one. Look at USDT dominance. Look at this. Exact mirror to Bitcoin. We have broken down, and now we're waiting for what? For the confirmation to perform exactly the move that we see here, right? That's what we need. If we confirm and fall here, like down, then we gonna get our Bitcoin pump, right? That's what we want. What we don't want is to pump back in here, right? Take profit and come back for another round. We don't want this. Gold. Here's Stu's 8K prediction. Gold is moving sideways, very likely forming a bull flag here to continue, right? Because with all that stimulus, it's almost impossible for gold not continuing its rise, maybe to 3,000, yeah? We don't know exactly where it will stop. So this is happening, and then also the altcoins, they are looking really juicy here on the weekly chart, because And the only thing that I really want to see now is take out this and really show us continuation, which needs Bitcoin to perform, right? All these other charts are always dependent on Bitcoin, but so far so good. We have a breakout, we have a retest, and we have our continuation. So the only thing that's missing now is a Bitcoin breakout, and then altcoins will completely parabolic. Everything that we see out of altcoins right now is a joke compared to what we are going to see in the future. I think that wave 3 has already started, and wave 3 is very likely going to bring us to the next all-time high for altcoins. I don't know if it will be in November, or if it will be in December, or maybe this whole thing will continue into, what would that be? So the wave, this wave 3 top here, if it would behave parabolically like this, would be somewhere in March 2025, right? So that would be obviously the dream of this breakout. Also, if you are looking at this, let's take a target of this cup and handle. So this is this, right? So this is the level, this is the maximum extension level, which would bring us to, wait a second, this is the handle, so it needs to break out from here. Yeah, it would be something like that. Maybe the wave 3 is not that high, but who knows, right? This is just an example, right? So the breakout, actually, it's here already. So yeah, about $1 trillion in market cap, which we never had. The highest that we ever had was $500 billion. So it would be double the previous cycle, but there's also double the coins. So we will see how the coins are behaving, right? So this would be the prediction for the altcoins. Let's put a price label on it. Hey, where's the price label? Why did it go there? That doesn't make sense. Anyways, here, $1 trillion. About $1 trillion market cap in the altcoins, wave 3, and then we will see, right? We will see how it looks like. But of course, the ideal would be a 5-wave count, a 5th wave, maybe a little bit more to here. So because, I don't know, maybe December, who knows, right? End of 2025, when Bitcoin already topped out next year, September or something like that, who knows, right? This is something like, if someone tells, oh, this is exactly going to happen, we are betting on being right, and then we will tell forever how we've been right on this, right? So for me, it's more like, here are scenarios, these can happen. It doesn't mean that they necessarily have to happen, right? But anyways, today, unfortunately, we are a little bit on limited time. Nothing happened for Ecomi, so here's your Ecomi chart. There's literally nothing changed between today and yesterday, other than that this whole thing comes to an end here. So either we break out to the upside or the downside. Uptrend, slight uptrend. No strength yet. We are still waiting for the whales to make their move, and we have this. So 4 years ago, this Todd Batman came out, right? And it's being celebrated here, 4th anniversary of our first drop with VEVE. So this is obviously interesting, right? So now they have celebrated the 4-year journey. Your support means everything. Remember, 4 years ago, the 4-year cycle, 4 years ago, when this came out, it was sitting in the store and it was not sold out. Today, this collectible in a very pessimistic environment is sitting at a couple of $100, right? So this is something to keep in mind for the VEVE Collectibles. This thing has been selling for, I think, $80 or $70, I don't know, in the store. And it was not sold out for weeks on end. And today it's selling, it's very high, right? Thanks for the like. By the way, smash up the like button, guys, if you enjoyed this live stream, if you enjoy these streams altogether. really important to me. I'm running a little bit out of time here because I have to go earlier. But that, I think that was the most important thing to highlight here. That we are on this 4-year cycle. And only that, we are also gaining users at the moment. And you know that, where is it? Unique users, there you go. We are forming a bull flag here on the... I'm just kidding, but we're basically at the same user level since a week now. So some people selling off, some people coming in, maybe something like that. So it's fluctuating at the moment, right? But with the next big drop, probably something new is happening. We see that VEVE is gearing up for a big New York Comic Con, and we're expecting users to come in here on this, right? So they have this 24/7 comics partnership. There was an interview with Ben Rose on comics and crypto. That's interesting. I should watch this. Another Metaverse Live video. That's always good. Assassin's Creed drop now. I think there must be an article on this now. So maybe we look at this also for a second. Where is it? There is it. Assassin's Creed Odyssey. Here's the Cassandra collectible, and it's going to be on 40, and they're only sub 1,000, so this is good. And then also the diorama, Cassandra's base, is only 20, but I think this is cool because even if some people, but it's like, I think it's a blind box, but even if some people don't want the Cassandra, maybe they want this for another setup, right? So this could be, you don't have to use it for an Assassin's Creed collectible. But I think this is really good. I think they're getting the numbers right. Here we have only sub 1,000, and here we have 555 for 20 bucks. It's not a blind box because otherwise it would be the same price. So you can get them separately. So getting this diorama could be a thing for people, and it's actually very scarce. So this is interesting for sure. And I think once, and this plays a little bit together. So you have your new users, people get excited about these types of drops. At some point, there will be sold out, not selected, right? And that's the point where people like, okay, so if this happens a couple of times to people sold out, not selected, they either have to use MCP, but if they don't have it or not enough, they will get frustrated. And that's the point where VEVE probably slightly has to increase increase the edition numbers again, and then you're back in an uptrend where people don't get drops, and you have to slightly adapt, and you make more revenue again out of these drops. So I think they have to find the sweet spot where people don't get it. It gets more exciting. Every drop that you get probably is sellable on the market. The flippers come back to inject more movement, more liquidity into the secondary market. I think this will happen at some point. And these numbers, they will certainly contribute to it. This is at least my take. So what we see here now is there's also this X-Men, the red one. I don't know if it's the airdrop or so. Let's see also here. I think this was where is it? This was there was a post about here captured Storm and stands as one of the most iconic mutants. So let's see. I think this might be a craft or so. The metallic red. No, it's a drop. And only 444. It seems. Inspired by iconic red logo. This new line of digital collectible. Okay, so this is crazy. 40, but there's only 444. It seems that there's a shift in, hey, let's bring scarcity. Price point is okay. This one, wow, this one might be sought after, right? So the metallic reds also, I have this Doc Ock. Maybe I go for this one. Who knows? We will see. But this one, okay, so metallic red is going to be a collector's niche, I think. Anyways, guys, unfortunately I have to jump today. I will travel, so there's no crypto morning coffee, but stay tuned for videos. I might be doing some videos here. So guys, make sure to smash up the like button, subscribe to the channel with notifications on, and wherever you are on the world, have a great morning, evening, day, night, or afternoon, and I catch you in the next video or live stream. Have a good one, everyone, and